a closing address by the Indus Water Commissioner. This is after Breakstop is going to be here. Hopefully that will be a viable sort of ending to the summer school, followed by an MOU signing by Islam with the water. Then we will have this certificate. So since we are starting in the about 15 minutes late, I would expect a point to this at 4:45 would be starting this thing. अब जो yes मैंने उनको मैं नहीं कर सकता कि आप छोटा करें या बड़ा करें. But I expect by 6 we should be done. But so if you have plans to walk up town और आप certificate नहीं ले सकते, we can thank you to certificates by way. But if you are from the home, I would recommend that you stay back and then receive it. So one will be counting the attendances and so on and so forth. So hopefully people who have attended the session will be अगर कोई सुभान साहब से कोई गलती हो जाए हम अभी भी जिम्मेदार हैं. So if there is some error, let me know. Okay, so it's a great pleasure to invite Dr. Zubair Khalid, who is a faculty associate of the center, as well as an assistant professor of electrical engineering, presenting some advanced signal processing methods for the estimation of groundwater storage variation in the river basin using GRACE data. So I'm very pleased to invite Dr. Zubair Khalid for this talk, both because he's a real world expert on signal processing techniques, and motivated by the center, he has sort of turned his interest to sort of more something like applications for hydrology. We are very excited that you are paying attention to this very important. Over to Zubair.
Thank you. So I think it's fine. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
So thank you, Bakar, and thank you, Big Team, for inviting me here. So I will be talking about some advanced signal processing methods which we have recently developed for the estimation of groundwater storage over Indus River Basin using GRACE data. So I've done this work with my very bright research assistant Yahya Sattar. And a bit about myself, I'm working as an assistant professor in electrical engineering department at LUMS. I'm also serving as a faculty associate with Center for Water Information Technology. So I've been working with them for the past 10 months. So we're working on this project with WIT. So my main area of research is spherical signal processing, and I work for applications in cosmology, geophysics, acoustics, medical imaging. Although these appear very diverse, but they share a very common research problem. So anyways, so we move with the talk. So probably a quick outline. I will start with what was the scope of the project and a quick introduction to GRACE and GNDS. So are you aware of GRACE? GRACE data set. Okay, maybe I will spend just 5 minutes on that. And then I will talk about the previous works which have been around 29, and the framework which we have developed and the possible research potential. Okay, so we did this project in the last 10 months probably, and the idea was to estimate the groundwater storage variations using GRACE data. So I'll shortly explain what we mean by GRACE data. And we're also developing a framework and a MATLAB-based toolbox which we will release publicly. And so that anyone who's interested can use that toolbox to analyze GRACE data or to use GRACE data for some reference. And we have addressed some signal processing challenges in this framework. So what do we mean by the overview of GRACE? So GRACE stands for Gravity Recovery and Climate Experiment. This was a mission which was launched in 2002 jointly by NASA and German Aerospace Center DLR. So the lifespan was 5 years, but it's still working. And we're still getting the data from these GRACE satellites. So what GRACE mission was? So it was consists of 2 satellites, 2 identical satellites orbiting at 500 kilometers from the surface of Earth, and the distance between satellites is around 220 kilometers. The operating principle is, so unlike altimetry, they do not reflect anything from towards ground. They operate in the microwave range of frequency, and what they do is, so these two satellites, they are orbiting our Earth, and if there is some gravitational pull to one satellite, this can be sensed by the following satellite. So what satellites are doing, so this one is estimating, or this one is measuring a distance between, so from the satellite, and this one is measuring distance from the satellite. And obviously each one of has the record of its acceleration, deceleration. So when they rotate on a fixed orbit around Earth, so if there is some gravity at some time, at some special point, if there is some more gravity pull, so these satellites would accelerate, right? And that acceleration would cause the increase in distance between these two satellites, right, to the mass. So the change in gravity is proportional to the change in surface density of the Earth. So that's what we're going to estimate. So gravity is indirectly allowing us to measure the change in surface density. So is here? Any questions? What? So the accuracy of is, I think it's probably 10 micrometer accuracy. So reference. What is the reference? So one is reference. So for example, at this particular special point, we have some mountain, or this could be Mount Everest, something like that. So that indicates there is more gravity here. When satellite passes through this point, it will accelerate, and the following satellite would measure the change in distance, and consequently gives you an estimate of the change in gravity. Or what this whole method is doing, it gives you spatio-temporal variations in the gravity field, like how the gravity is varying over the Earth and how the gravity is varying with time. So, and this data is available in the form of Stokes coefficients, or we call it spherical harmonic coefficients. So they're just the harmonic domain representation of the data. So those of you who do not have engineering background, so you can say you have this data, right? You have how the gravity is varying, how the gravity is varying with over the space, and how the gravity is varying with time. In a different coordinate system. Yep. So okay. So this is pretty. It looks complicated, but it's not. So what it is? So this CLM and this SLM. So these are the coefficients available for download. So this CLM and SLM, they are Stokes coefficients, right? And the rest are just constant for any spin point. So what this equation gives you, you pass on this CLM and SLM, delta indicates the change. So what you get is the change in the surface density. So for a given Cray's data set, so using this equation, what you can get is a change in surface density. And then there are some bunch of constants, and there is a complete theory behind this model. So why do we have this weighting function and so on and so forth. Right? So this CLM and SLM, they are Fourier series. In fact, this is change in Fourier series. This is difference in Fourier series. So you have something, it's a weighted Fourier series. Right? So, okay. So the summary is, so using Cray's data, you can measure the surface density change. And the surface density change is proportional to the variations in water storage. So, okay. So summary so far, you have Cray's data, and using Cray's data, you can measure the variation in total water storage. So the main sources of water, the variation in water storage are precipitation, or you can have water spilled into the ground, you can have evaporation or transpiration, you can have water pumped out from the natural underground reservoir. But what Cray's gives you only is the total water storage variation. It is so if you want to extract the groundwater storage, you need to subtract the contribution of these variations. Right? So what we do is, so we use GRACE in conjunction with GLDAS. So what GLDAS is a global land data assimilation system, which is developed by NASA, and it uses hydrological models forced by some observations, supported by some observations, and it gives you estimate of snow water equivalents and many hydrological parameters. So I think it is available in two spatial resolutions. You can get a 1 degree by 1 degree resolution, and you also have 0.1 degree by 0.1 degree. Alright? This is not a web product. This is based on hydrological models forced by observations, supported by observations. They are validated using observations. Please. Two satellites, sorry. Yeah. So this no. This one is being pulled by some other thing. They are separated by 220 kilometers, right? So at some point here, but this is being pulled by this point another, this point another. Are you ready? Yeah, when this passes through this, obviously you get the same pole, and then the second satellite can validate the previous. Yeah, that is this as well. Make sense? Okay. So using GRACE, we can have total water storage information. And we want to extract groundwater. We need to subtract the contribution of these sources. And to subtract this, we use GLDAS data. So to summarize, so we can get the change in groundwater storage using the total water storage from GRACE and take away the effect of snow water equivalent and soil moisture storage. We extract these two from GLDAS, so we estimate this using GRACE, and eventually we get the estimate of groundwater storage. Okay, so maybe I will quickly review what has been done previously in the literature. Right? The state-of-the-art work this was carried out back in 2009. I think it has been cited around 5,000 times. It has been fairly cited. So what they did is they did a study, so they used GRACE data, right? And they measured the variations over Rajasthan, Punjab and Haryana states of India, and including Delhi. So what they did is they used the same principle. They estimated the TWS, the total water storage or terrestrial water storage, using GRACE data, and then they subtracted the soil moisture storage and snow water equivalent using GLDAS, and they get an estimate of groundwater storage. And the result was that in this region, the groundwater is being depleted at a mean rate of 4 centimeters per year. Right, that was reported back in 2009, and there are a lot of studies after that. Okay, so one thing which is worth noting here, right, if you see the total terrestrial water is the black line, and the groundwater, which is the blue line. So they are perfectly correlated. They are almost correlated. Right? So they are following the same trend. So which reveals that if we do not have GLDAS, if we do not choose GLDAS at all, we can still get a very good estimate of groundwater storage, because you see the variations in total terrestrial water and groundwater, they are almost same. You can get an estimate, you can get a trend, you can get a very a reasonable estimate just only using GRACE data. Nevertheless, because you have GLDAS available, you can use both. Any questions so far? Please take it. No. So the resolution is pretty coarse, but But over a very large area, you can get a very good picture, right? But not that resolution. So we have around 300 kilometer by 300 kilometer. You get one data point. I will show you the picture. So what we do is, so we have used a similar framework, right, addressing the challenges and for Indus River Basin, and we also propose some novel contributions. Okay, the framework which we have developed is, so you get the Stokes coefficients from Grace, right? And so once you get Stokes coefficients, so we remove the temporal mean, right? So you get the Grace coefficient from say from 2002 to 2010, and so we remove temporal mean. By removing temporal mean, so we get anomalies or the variations in the gravity. In the surface density, in the gravity, so consequently surface density change, and consequently total water storage. Right? So once we remove temporal mean, so we filter the data, so we band limit the data. So okay, for filtering, so we have used a deep correlation filter because the noise in these coefficients is the form of stripping noise. And the reason is, so these two satellites, they are orbiting around some fixed radius. So the noise accumulated would be in the form of strips. The noise is not uniformly distributed, or you can say spatially, the noise is not isotropic. The noise is of an isotropic nature, and to remove such a noise, so we use this decorrelating filter. So after decorrelating, we also do some smoothing. So we apply a filter of a Gaussian smoothing of filter with 800 kilometer radius. So I'm not going to math, right? So each of these is a pretty complicated operation. So I'm just giving you a very high level picture. Right? So after this step, so you get a filtered, band limited, and smooth Stokes coefficient, and just using this, we can get a surface density change. So in this block, we can get a surface density change. So this is proportional to water equivalent height or total water storage information. Yep. Okay. So what you get here is, so you get something which is a global information. So you get the surface density change for the global information. But what we are interested in, we want to estimate that what is the variation over Indus River Basin. So you have something available everywhere, and if you want to estimate what is the variation over a small region, what should you do? What's the next approach? You just take only data points which are inside region, right? Does it make sense? But when we say signal processing, it's not good. Right? So we have some natural phenomena, right? For example, if some variation in Punjab, in Pakistan part of Punjab, could be coming from in this side of Punjab, right? So if you apply something that on Indus River Basin in Pakistan, you just apply, you take all data points, you apply a window which is 1 here, and that is decaying to 0 abruptly. So those of you who will have engineering background, that leads to artifact. Right? So we should not make a binary masking, or we should not do a rectangular window. In the previous studies, people have used the boxcar window, rectangular window, or a binary mask, indicator function, all these things. Right? So what we've done here is, so we have designed a window which is something smooth over our desired region, over Indus River Basin. And so using this window, so from this global information, we extract the local information using this flattening window. I will explain shortly what is the flattening window. So we consider the Pakistan map as a region. So we take the whole Pakistan map and we divided Pakistan map into 44 regions of this shape. Right? And the reason we choose this shape is that for this particular shape, we can determine the window, or which I'm calling an optimal window, analytically. So we have this paper which is published, I think published in 2 months back in our table transaction simple thing, in which we propose that if you have this type of vision, you can compute the window analytically. Right? So using this window, we obtained an estimate, and this is an estimate of total water storage we obtained from 2005. So we took up base data from 2005 to 2015. So over these 120 months, so we obtained this total water storage variation. And so I've been told by Vikas yesterday that there has been some study in Kaiser University in which there's a guy Naveed Iqbal who did something similar, and this is almost matching with what they have, right? So, and we have developed a framework, we have validated, and we will release it for public use. And if you see, so if you see near fitting, and so the message here is that groundwater storage is being depleted. So this is what we know, right? And everyone knows, and probably this is, you can say this is an evidence of that, to support that. How it has been done? So we're doing validation. The validation process is, so for the previous studies, so we'll use the same framework for the previous studies, we will just match what they obtained. Okay, so this is total water storage information. So if you want to check groundwater storage, what we did is, so we use GLDS data. So using GRACE, we obtained the variation in total water storage. So using GLDS, we use soil moisture storage and snow water equivalent data from GLDS, and we did the same processing for this data set, and we get an estimate of soil moisture storage and snow water equivalent for industrial basin, and we just do the water balance equation to obtain estimate of groundwater storage. Right? So this is a work in progress, and probably we believe that it would be a very good validation for a study for industrial basin. There are many research potentials. They have been taken in many future research directions. So currently, so we can use there's another mission, gravity field and steady state ocean circulation explorer, that gives you a static information of gravity change. So GRACE has some accuracy, and this has some accuracy, but they have different accuracy in different degrees. And so we can combine GRACE data with GROSS data, and so that you can improve the estimation accuracy. Right. And there's also a study back in 2004 which indicates that in some coefficients of the slope of the GRACE data, there is some unreasonable variability. So we can improve that by using data from satellite laser ranging. So I think this concludes my talk. So I'm happy to take any questions. Questions and comments?
Gravitation radiation also helps in contaminated or uncontaminated water.
Yep. It gives you an overall picture. It does not differentiate between, obviously. Surface density.
How change in gravity is related to change in water content?
So the gravity gives you the change in surface density. Right. When you surface density, so you do not have surface variation. You can estimate. It's directly related. You can have water variations. It's proportional. Yes, it gives you, due to groundwater level, that's what we are monitoring. It gives you groundwater level. If the groundwater level changes, surface density changes. It's just one-to-one part point.
Is there any interpretation with the sedimentation in water?
Sedimentation water. So using grace. So I don't know if there are any studies. We can explore that. I don't think so.
One very is that one calculation we require about surface gravity, what it is for pavement. Number two, it does this trend line gives us confidence that we have the groundwater storage open here.
It's from 2005 to the same.
So does this trend tell us what is the that we can take?
The section is, so what's the rate of depletion? Okay. So you can, if you assuming that it is linearly, you can interpolate. You can interpolate what's happening next.
Sir, my question is, by using the grace or clays, how we can determine the soil moisture?
So you can have the soil moisture using GLDS.
On background, what is the technology or which is the method used by this?
GLDS system. Okay. So GLDS system is based on hydrological models. It's supported by, validated by real observations, on-ground observations. So they have the hydrological model and they have observations. So those models are supported by observations, and so using both models and observations, so this GLDS data set has been generated. By physical observation. No, by gauging. By physical observation. So GLDS, they have hydrological models, but these models are supported by physical gauges, by physical measurements. Okay, so you have some hydrological model, which can give you cannot gauge every point. You can sample, obviously, right? You cannot gauge at every point. You can sample, and if there's some model which gives you a pretty good accuracy at some sample positions, you assume that for those spectral positions where you cannot gauge, you assume your model to be accurate. So what it means is, obviously, if you have to special point, right? So for example, in some region, you cannot take measurements, but in surrounding, so you develop a model for this region, and you take sample points around that. And for all those sample points, check that this model is pretty accurate.
Take a sample of that sphere, how it will represent the field. I have a 25 acres of land, and I will take samples from 1 acre. Can I replicate this method to other 24 acres?
Your model is accurate. It all comes to modeling. So you generate a model taking into account all parameters. You build a very complicated model, you take samples, you validate your model, and then you say that, okay, if I take sample point here, this model gives you good accuracy. You can compare. You take many sample points and you validate that model. And if your model is validated, it captures all the parameters, you get a pretty good accuracy. It just comes to modeling.
Sir, due to de-stripping, there is also some signal damping effect, and to recover that, some scaling factors are available at a basin scale. So, in this study, what scaling factor was used?
So, this one. So, people have used different scaling factors. So, I think in the previous study, which was carried out in Haryana, in Indian part, they used a factor of 1.95. But in our study, we have not incorporated any factor. This is directly coming from GRACE data. So we can incorporate a normalization factor by generating some ground truth, and we can estimate, then we can compare ground truth estimate to get that factor. So currently, there's no factor in here. There's no factor in here.
More questions.
Alright, that's thank you.
Thank you very much.